Trevor Lawrence getting $275 million. Obviously, he's not worth that, right? But with NFL salaries going the way that they are, especially for quarterbacks, this is only going to go up. There's no going down in this NFL economy, in this ecosystem, especially when you're talking about the CBA that's coming up and all the streaming rights that are on the table for the NFL. This is only going to get larger. Salary caps are going to go up, which would allow QB salaries to continue to ascend. So when you have QBs like Trevor Lawrence, who to me is not even, he's not top 5. That's not a debate. You could debate me all you want in the comments if he's top 10, but for me, he's more in that 11 to 15 range. When you talk about QB being the 4th highest paid in terms of guaranteed and top 3 annual salary per year, that's to me is where the problem is in this NFL economy, because it's basically like, well, whoever's up for the next contract, you're going to get your money, and you're going to get way more than the next guy, or a little bit more than the next guy, because it's just your turn. It doesn't really matter if it's merit-based or not. So while I get and I understand why Trevor Lawrence is going to get paid the way that he's going to be paid, it's just so striking when it comes to what exactly are we doing here with this current NFL structure? What exactly are we doing with the salaries the way that they are? I mean, only 3 positions get paid in the NFL anyway. You're talking about your QBs, your wide receivers now. Because of the importance of QBs, you now have to pay receivers. That wasn't the case back in the day. Now, and then you have the defensive linemen. Defensive linemen are getting paid because they have to get paid to go after the quarterback. So again, no matter what structure, it always revolves around the quarterback. You need to pay your QB to throw the ball. Now you need to pay receivers because they're the ones that QBs throw to. And then if you're on the other side, you need to stop QBs. The best way to stop QBs is the people that's closer to the QBs, which is defensive linemen. So the whole NFL economy is literally built around the quarterback, right? And if you show a special ability to help a quarterback or to beat a quarterback, you're going to get paid. We could get into all the touchdowns. We can get into all the receiving yards. We could get into all of that. But in actuality, you kind of have to throw all of that out because this is the easiest time ever to pass the ball in. It's 17 games, soon to be 18 games. And if you're going to get into this in terms of numbers and TDs and receptions, then I'll also have to get into the interceptions and the fumbles. So like we can go all day back and forth on how good Trevor Lawrence actually is. But again, none of that actually matters. It's only just a sense of it's your time. And teams are trying to get earlier and earlier to extend these quarterbacks because the salaries are only going to go up. And that's the crux of everything, is that none of the QB salary is about merit. It's not really about numbers. We talk about numbers all the time, and there's pro and anti this guy, and you can debate that in the comments. That's fine. But I just want y'all to know it's never really been about that. It's just about who's up next, because the NFL has created such a system that it doesn't matter who's up next. It doesn't matter that it was Jared Goff a couple of months ago, that it's now Trevor Lawrence, and in the future it'll be Dak Prescott, and then it'll be Tua Tagovailoa. It doesn't matter that it was Kyler Murray. Before he's done anything that matters, it didn't matter. It was his turn, and he got his bread. We went through all this back and forth about Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson got his bag, and then like a week or so later, Herbert got more money than him. We went through all this fanfare, all this content, all the views and vitriol that was spewed in the comment section, and then literally a week or so later, Justin Herbert went out there and just got more money than Lamar Jackson. And again, no one blinked. All these teams, if you draft a QB high, you're kind of forced to extend him, because that admits failure. That admits that you got it wrong. And no GM wants to have that on their resume. So you're kind of forced to extend. Even the Giants with Daniel Jones, they were forced to kind of give him 4 years, $160 million, although only half of it was guaranteed. They were forced to do that. Now they're stuck with him. That's the thing. You're forced to pay these QBs because you have to. Then if they're mid, or if they're not even that, you're stuck with them. Like, there's a scenario where Dak Prescott, if Dak keeps doing what he's been doing in terms of taking these shorter term deals and turning around to be able to cash out again and again, there's a point where he could potentially make more money than Patrick Mahomes. Imagine a world where 20 years from now, we do career earnings, just salary, and Dak Prescott made more than Patrick Mahomes. How is that right? How is that justifiable? What type of world are we in where Patrick Mahomes, whose own owner, has said publicly, again, another thing where no one seems to care, has said publicly that Patrick Mahomes will never be paid fair market value. He will always be underpaid. Like, imagine that. Like, imagine the audacity, the gall. Imagine you're the Patrick Mahomes of your industry, whatever that is. You're him. You're her. And I know the fan trope is, well, if you give me that money, I'd be happy. I'd be happy to make the millions these guys make, and all that is cool. But now let's take it to your job. Let's take it to your job where you're the guy that's the Mahomes of your field. And your owner blatantly tells you you're never going to get the money you deserve. With the streaming rights, with the CBA coming up, the salary cap is going to escalate even higher. We're talking about 55 million now. There's a good chance it's going to be 60, 70 million in just a matter of years. So it's smart for the Jaguars to do it. My question is, what are they expecting to get back from it? So while we can all say, every team's going to say, but we think we can win a Super Bowl. We think we're trying to win a championship. How many teams actually can win a championship? That's the thing here with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Can the Jacksonville Jaguars, paying Trevor Lawrence $55 million, actually win a championship? The answer is no, as currently constituted. As that roster is actually constructed, no. And with that money actually going up and the salary cap hit actually going up, it's going to get harder and harder for the Jaguars to build around Trevor Lawrence, because he's already proven that he's not Lamar Jackson. He's not a Patrick Mahomes. He can't just be a one-man band and just make everybody better around him and carry them as far as he can. He's proven he's not that. So if he's not going to be that, then what the hell are you getting for $55 million per year at up to $275 million overall? That's the real crux that the Jaguars are in.